Hi there, Gemini. Welcome to a tarot reading, a general tarot reading for the first part of December. It's Rena here. Oh, the one thing that I should let you know is that you're going to have a full moon in your sign on December 4th. And I think it's going to be at 13 degrees of Gemini. So this can be a time, and the reason it jogged my memory was when I got that Seven of Cups, because that can be the Seven of Cups can be having a lot of options open to yourself. And I think of that full moon period, if it's in your own sign, as a time kind of like the harvest coming in. It's going to be a super moon, so it can wield more influence over our affairs. And this is for your life in general. So let's talk about this central theme. The heart of the matter, the Seven of Cups. Maybe you have a lot of options available to you right now. And because Jupiter is in your second house, which is your financial house, your earned income house, this may be connected to some kind of job offers. And if you look at those cups, I always think of what show was that? The Price is Right or something where, door number one, door number two. And sometimes they would have some real, I don't know what you would call white elephants or some things that people didn't really want. And, there's a snake in one of those cups, a rainbow, a flower, but sometimes all that glitters isn't gold. So sometimes this is a card of wishful thinking, like, thinking if only this person were a certain way, everything would be perfect, when in fact it's a lot more complicated than that when you're trying to wish something away that just isn't in reality. I believe this card is connected to Neptune, and that's that Piscean desire to kind of put on the rose-colored glasses and hope for the best. In the past position, we have the Seven of Swords. This can be a card straight up of someone who's deceiving you, somebody who's stealing from you or cheating on you. So in a relationship with someone that just can't be honest. And that could be what the Seven of Cups is. Because if seven connects with Neptune and things like that, part of Neptune can be deception, including self-deception. It could also be very transcendent, which is a beautiful thing. But on the flip side, it can be something where things are not as they seem, and it can be very draining to be in a relationship with someone and you just always think that they're going out cheating, or they're even, God forbid too, but stealing, and it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. A family member who has a drug addiction or whatever, and they are stealing the silverware or whatever, and then, swearing up and down that they're not doing so. The higher message, or the spiritual message in your dilemma, is the Five of Cups, which is a card of grieving the loss of something. Maybe your higher self is trying to tell you something, is trying to get you to focus on the reality of your situation, and just understand that it wasn't what you thought it was. Maybe it was a relationship that you thought was going to be the end all be all, and it's really just the end all. The be all part didn't happen. As a matter of fact, when you have that full moon, the sun is in opposition, at that time. So it is going to be coming from the seventh house. I mean, this is like a general forecast, not meant for every individual chart of Gemini. But the seventh house is a house of relationships. So the sun will be there, and it will be giving you that, it'll be shedding a light on that relationship. And then the full moon brings it back to you. Like, what do you want to do? You're in the driver's seat about what you choose to do about this relationship. But relationships can really be front and center in the first week of December because of that full moon for Gemini people in particular. What crosses you is the Four of Wands. This is a card of the happy home, a card of marriage and domestic bliss, if you will. And in the challenge position, if you have experienced this with a person and it no longer feels that way, it can be, kind of coming to terms with that and not trying to fight against the past and trying to make the past, your present when it's not. If you are Sun in Gemini, you could very easily have planets in Cancer, which is a sign next to Gemini. You may have Venus in Cancer, Mars in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, and your moon can be anything, could be a water sign as well. It can make you very sentimental and more emotional than the typical Gemini person, and that can create a real pull towards holding on to what you had, even if it's no longer viable. What's coming in is the Queen of Cups. This is double water energy, which is very psychic and very emotional, but very creative. This is good if you are someone who is, for instance, looking to make a career change. You may be favoring the arts, or whether it's the creative arts or the healing arts. And it also can be a card of really tuning into your higher self. I don't know if this would be accurate, but to me, the Queen of Cups is the minor arcana version of the High Priestess. And in some ways, I would say. And because of that, when we think of our higher self, it's the part of ourselves that is always connected to the divine. We have a material self, like a human self. You could call it a lower self. And that is more connected to this world and the matters of this world. And then you have the higher self, and that transcends whatever is going on in the physical. Okay. So for a sign like Gemini, this is something that you may fight against, because you might be thinking of it analytically, and no, I have this mind that is very analytical, very intelligent, and I can figure out problems with my mind. The Queen of Cups is very intuitive, and there's a big difference because you're connecting the heart and where the intuition lies, and that transcends that mundane mind. And that can lead you in a way, if you're feeling confusion at this time. The outcome is the Six of Pentacles. This is a card of give and take. This is I love this image in this deck, the Flower Power Tarot, whatever it's called, because Flower Child Tarot, because, the woman is feeding the chickens and they give her eggs. So it's a symbiotic relationship, or it's like kind of like, both sides. This is the thing that you're working towards. If it's what you're choosing, if you're choosing a new job, Six of Pentacles can also be an inheritance card. It's right under the Five of Cups, which can be a card of grief. So that may be coming up for you in the first week of the month, dealing with those types of issues. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope that you enjoyed this. Bye.